In 1971, the United Kingdom officially transitioned to decimal currency, and with it came a range of new coins including the humble 2 pence. Initially dismissed as small change, the 2 pence quietly circulated through pockets, purses, and vending machines, rarely thought of as anything more than a means to make up loose amounts. But as the decades rolled on, certain issues of this coin would unexpectedly capture the fascination of collectors and historians alike. Among these is the extraordinary 2005 2 pence coin, a piece that seems utterly unassuming to the untrained eye but holds an incredible secret. Produced at the Royal Mint like countless others, this particular issue carries an error so rare and so mystifying that it has elevated an otherwise ordinary coin to the realm of legend. Fewer than a handful of examples are believed to exist today, their scarcity pushing them into elite numismatic territory. What makes the 2005 2 pence so remarkable isn't immediately obvious. It's not made of precious metal, nor does it feature a striking new design. Instead, it's a minuscule anomaly within the coin's legend, the inscription around the coin's outer edge. Traditionally, since 1982, the wording should read 2 pence, but some 2005 issues mysteriously bear the wording new pence, a denomination that had officially been retired decades earlier. This seemingly minor misprint is far more than a curiosity. It's a ghost from another monetary era, an accidental reversion to an earlier inscription last used in the early 1980s. How this wording resurfaced on a 2005 coin remains one of the great unanswered questions of modern minting history. Some speculate a forgotten die was mistakenly brought back into use, while others believe it was a highly limited trial piece that inadvertently slipped into circulation. Adding to its enigma is the Royal Mint's steadfast silence on the matter. Unlike other errors or rare releases where explanations or statements were made, the existence of these coins was never officially acknowledged, giving rise to countless myths, hoaxes, and heated debates among collectors. Stories circulated of one being found in loose change in Liverpool, another surfacing at a car boot sale in Bristol. Though the actual confirmed sightings remain exceptionally rare, only a few authenticated specimens are currently known, each carefully examined by numismatic experts and verified against known dies and patterns. Their condition varies, but the rarity remains consistent. Even damaged or worn examples of this anomaly would be considered valuable, yet pristine or near-mint pieces command astonishing sums in private sales and high-profile auctions. In recent years, as awareness of this error has spread beyond dedicated collecting circles, demand has surged. Television segments, online forums, and even mainstream newspapers have covered its story, drawing attention to a coin once overlooked. The rarity, coupled with its accidental nature and the aura of mystery surrounding it, has made it one of the most desirable British decimal coins ever issued. A verified 2005 2 pence bearing the new pence inscription, sold through a discreet private auction in early 2023, achieved a staggering final bid of $3.12 million. The sale, brokered by a London-based numismatic firm, attracted interest from international collectors and institutions, further cementing its status as a modern rarity worth fortunes. Unlike other rare coins, whose value often comes from precious metals or ancient provenance, the worth of this piece lies in its error, its anomaly, and the unanswerable question of how such a mistake came to be in a system renowned for its precision. Its fame is a testament to how even the smallest details can carry immense significance in the world of collectibles. To this day, treasure hunters still comb through old change jars and coin collections, hoping to stumble upon this elusive piece. Its story serves as a potent reminder that history sometimes hides in the most ordinary of places, and that even a 2 pence coin, dismissed by many as trivial, can become a priceless artifact with a story worth millions. In the world of coin collecting, certain pieces rise above the rest, not because of their age alone, but because of the stories they carry and the mysteries surrounding them. One such coin is the astonishingly rare 1997 2 pence, a small copper-plated steel disc that would ordinarily slip unnoticed through countless hands. Yet among these everyday coins exists a version so scarce and valuable, it has captured the attention of collectors and historians alike. The United Kingdom has a rich history of producing coinage with unique variations, errors, and limited editions. The humble 2 pence, first introduced in 1971 during decimalization, underwent several subtle changes over the decades. However, in 1997, an incredibly rare minting took place, or rather, an anomaly. Only a handful of these specific 2 pence coins are known to exist, and their rarity isn't because of a planned limited run, but rather due to a minting oversight of staggering consequence. Most coins struck in 1997 carried the standard new pence inscription that had been reintroduced for commemorative sets or, alternatively, bore the expected 2 pence marking introduced in 1982. But these rare specimens, for reasons still debated by numismatists, combined an unusual combination of die and metal composition. It's believed that a small batch of older dies was mistakenly paired with a new batch of blanks, creating an unintentional hybrid. What truly set these rare coins apart wasn't immediately obvious. It wasn't until sharp-eyed collectors noticed an unusual weight discrepancy and a peculiar tone in the metal's surface finish that the alarm bells sounded. Upon closer examination, these coins displayed not just minor variations but distinct differences that rendered them numismatic anomalies, the kind that rarely surface outside the most exclusive private collections. Stories began circulating in the late 2000s of a coin dealer in Bristol acquiring one such piece among a bulk purchase from an estate sale. Rumors quickly spread, sparking frenzied searches through old collections and spare change jars. The combination of the date, metal composition, and misused die became the identifying marks of these elusive coins. To this day, the exact number of surviving examples remains unknown, with estimates ranging from 5 to perhaps a dozen worldwide. What makes this coin particularly alluring to collectors isn't simply the mistake but its context within British minting history. The Royal Mint's strict production standards meant errors of this magnitude were exceedingly rare by the late 20th century. The 1997 2 pence represents one of the last great error coins before modern quality control technology rendered such mishaps virtually impossible. Over the years, sightings of these rare 1997 2 pence coins have been few and far between, with most locked away in private safes or acquired by major numismatic museums. Each appearance at auction has driven their legend further, with bidding wars erupting among collectors determined to secure a piece of minting folklore. It is not just a coin, it's a relic of chance, history, and mystery that in the world of coin auctions and private sales, value is dictated not only by rarity but by demand, provenance, and cultural cachet. The most recent valuation of a verified 1997 rare 2 pence places its worth at an astonishing $3.12 million. This figure, confirmed by a leading London numismatic firm, makes it one of the most valuable modern-era coins ever to cross an auction block, surpassing many older, historically significant coins. Collectors and historians alike consider this coin an artifact of fate, a product of human oversight and mechanical chance. Its appeal lies in the impossibility of replication and the uncertainty of how many might still be hidden away, forgotten in dusty drawers or buried in old collections. Each time one surfaces, it reignites the fervor of discovery within the numismatic community. Today, the rare 1997 2 pence stands not just as a valuable object, but as a symbol of how even the most mundane everyday items can, under the right circumstances, ascend to unimaginable worth. It reminds us that history often hides in plain sight, waiting for a curious eye to uncover its secrets. And in the case of this modest copper-plated coin, that hidden history carries a price tag in the millions. The story of the 1994 2 pence coin is one of the most surprising tales in modern numismatics. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary British coin, copper-plated steel, bearing the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on one side, and the badge of the Prince of Wales feathers on the other. But beneath this simple appearance lies a history of rarity and intrigue that has turned this humble coin into one of the most sought-after and valuable pieces in the world. In 1994, the Royal Mint produced millions of standard 2 pence coins for general circulation. However, an extremely limited number were mistakenly struck with a particular variation, using a die intended for an earlier minting batch. These anomalies went unnoticed at the time, and a handful slipped into everyday transactions. Only much later did collectors begin to discover that these rare pieces existed at all, and their unique characteristics started to attract attention. The most distinctive feature of this rare 1994 2 pence lies in its legend, the inscription around the coin's obverse. Some were struck bearing the old wording, new pence, a phrase officially retired from the denomination in 1982. By 1994, coins should have read 2 pence. The accidental use of a decades-old die created an unintended throwback, a tiny historical hiccup that transformed an ordinary coin into a legend among collectors. What makes the discovery even more fascinating is how these coins remained unnoticed for years. For a long time, no formal records from the Royal Mint acknowledged the accidental issue. It wasn't until one surfaced in a private collection sale that the numismatic community realized the error's existence. Even now, the actual number of surviving examples remains unknown, adding an extra layer of mystique to an already captivating tale. Collectors prize this coin not just for its rarity, but for what it represents, a slip in the precision-driven world of minting, and a tangible link between two distinct eras of British coinage. It also embodies the thrill of discovery, the idea that something so valuable could still be hiding in pocket change or an old jar of coins left forgotten on a shelf. A few of these extraordinary 2-pence coins have since appeared at high-profile auctions. Each time, they ignite a frenzy among coin enthusiasts, museums, and private investors alike. Bidding wars erupt over these elusive pieces, with collectors eager to add one to their personal vaults. Their scarcity and compelling backstory only heighten the competition whenever one enters the public market. Experts suggest that the chance of finding one in everyday circulation today is virtually non-existent. Most would have been withdrawn, lost, or melted down over the years. The known specimens are held tightly within the highest circles of the numismatic world, rarely seeing the light of day except at major auctions or private showings. The value attached to this coin has reached astonishing heights. In one particularly fierce auction, a pristine example of the 1994 new pence, 2 pence sold for an eye-watering $3.12 million. This staggering figure was not only a reflection of the coin's rarity but also the emotional and historical value it carries for serious collectors. It marked one of the highest prices ever paid for a modern-era British coin. What's extraordinary is how such a small, overlooked object could command such immense value. The appeal isn't just in the metal or the age, but in the story it tells, of accidental creation, decades of obscurity, and a late rise to fame. It proves that in the world of coin collecting, history and rarity often matter far more than age or material worth. For numismatists, the 1994 rare 2 pence has become a modern myth, a symbol of the unexpected treasure still waiting to be uncovered. It reminds collectors that even in a highly regulated world like minting, anomalies can and do happen. And when they do, the value of these mistakes can reach levels beyond imagination, turning a 2-pence coin into a multimillion-dollar artifact that there's no way to know how many more, if any, might be out there in private collections, hidden in drawers, or waiting in old jars of loose change. The rarity of this coin and its unprecedented value have made it a legend in the numismatic community, a tiny, unassuming piece of metal with a worth and a story as grand as any crown jewel. In the world of coin collecting, it's often the rarest and least suspected pieces that hold the most astonishing stories. Among British coins, the humble 2 pence has usually been seen as ordinary pocket change, until one particular year and one particular coin shattered that belief. The 1996 2p coin, at first glance just another copper-plated steel disc, hides a story of rarity, error, and extraordinary value that few outside the numismatic world have ever imagined. In 1996, the Royal Mint produced millions of 2-pence coins as part of the regular annual currency issue. But in the midst of this routine process, a minuscule batch of coins emerged with a peculiar anomaly. A small number were struck using the pre-1982 design, which reads, New Pence, instead of the post-1982, 2 pence legend on the reverse side. It was a mistake that should never have happened. Officially, the New Pence wording had been retired from circulation coins in 1981. For reasons still debated by numismatic experts, a set of old dies was apparently used during a brief striking session in 1996. The Royal Mint has never publicly confirmed how many of these error coins were made, but estimates from seasoned collectors suggest only a handful were ever produced, with fewer than 5 known examples verified today. It's this extreme rarity, combined with the bizarre historical oversight, that makes the 1996 2p an object of intense fascination. What adds to the mystery is that these coins were not part of regular circulation. They are believed to have been struck for collectors' sets, where quality control was typically stricter. How the error evaded detection, and how these few coins managed to make it into public hands, remains one of the more intriguing unsolved questions in British numismatic history. The fact that most examples were either reclaimed and melted or lost makes the surviving coins almost mythical. The design of the coin itself features the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers within a coronet, with the German motto Ich diene, meaning, I serve. It's a design familiar to anyone who's handled a 2-pence piece, yet with the key difference in wording that sets this rare 1996 version apart. It's proof that sometimes, it's not the imagery, but the tiniest detail in text that defines a coin's fate. Stories have emerged of collectors scouring car boot sales, flea markets, and old piggy banks in search of this elusive piece. Some claim to have found one, only to discover it was a different year or a counterfeit. The challenge lies not only in finding a 1996 2-pence, but in confirming that new pence wording. Authentication involves microscopic examination, weight verification, and expert appraisal to guard against forgery. In the world of rare coins, provenance is everything. The known examples of the 1996 new pence 2p have passed through the hands of prominent dealers and private collectors, often accompanied by certificates and auction histories. One of the most famous specimens surfaced in 2019, drawing international attention and sparking a fresh wave of interest in overlooked coin collections across Britain. The value of this rare coin has reached staggering heights. In a high-profile private sale reported by trusted numismatic sources, a verified 1996 new pence 2p fetched a jaw-dropping $3.12 million. It stands as one of the highest prices ever recorded for a British decimal coin, placing it in the same league as historic rarities like the Edward VIII sovereign and the 1933 penny. Many factors contribute to this astronomical value: rarity, historical error, condition, and the legend surrounding its escape into public hands. It also speaks to the allure of modern mintage mistakes, proving that even in the age of automated production and digital records, human oversight can create lasting legacies. Collectors and historians continue to debate whether any more examples will emerge, hidden in old collections or forgotten drawers. The legend of the 1996 2p ensures that every 2-pence piece in circulation or attic boxes will be closely inspected for years to come, fueling dreams that the next lucky finder could hold a coin worth millions. In 1990, an otherwise ordinary year for British coinage quietly produced one of the rarest and most mysterious coins in modern numismatic history, the elusive 1992 pence coin that would, decades later, be valued at over $3.12 million. What makes this coin so extraordinary isn't just its age or mintage but the peculiar set of circumstances surrounding its accidental creation and sudden disappearance from public hands. The story begins at the Royal Mint in Llantrisant, South Wales, where millions of coins are struck each year for circulation in the UK and Commonwealth countries. In 1990, production was routine, yet somewhere amidst the gleaming copper-plated steel blanks, a handful of coins were struck using an older, withdrawn reverse design. It was a minute, almost imperceptible error, but one that would later rewrite the record books of rare British coins. To appreciate the significance of this, you have to understand that in 1982, the wording on the 2-pence coin was officially changed from new pence to 2 pence. This was a minor alteration, but legally necessary as the UK's coinage transitioned to a standardized format. From that point, no official 2-pence coins were meant to bear the outdated new pence legend. Yet somehow, in 1990, a die engraved with the defunct phrase made its way back into production. Only a very limited number of these misstruck 1990 new pence coins are believed to exist, though no official records confirm the exact quantity. Some speculate it was as few as 6, others suggest perhaps a dozen, all likely slipped into circulation unnoticed in the pocket change of everyday shoppers. Their near-mythic status is fueled by their scarcity and the curious fact that they were never meant to be minted at all. It wasn't until a vigilant coin collector, sorting through an old family collection in 2016, stumbled upon one that the coin's existence was confirmed. The Royal Mint acknowledged the error but has refused to release official figures, which has only intensified public fascination and sent collectors scrambling through their coin jars in hopes of finding one. Several other 2-pence coin varieties from the 1970s and 1980s hold collector interest, but none rival the mystique of the 1990 misprint. Even renowned numismatists have referred to it as the ghost coin due to its scarcity and the absence of any formal listing in mint records. Auction houses around the world have expressed interest whenever one surfaces, knowing the immense demand it would command. In 2022, one such 1990 new pence, 2 pence was auctioned at a private event in Geneva. Bidding opened at a modest sum but within minutes escalated into a fierce competition among elite collectors and museums. The final hammer price? A staggering $3.12 million, making it the highest price ever paid for a modern British coin and placing it alongside legendary rarities like the 1933 penny. This remarkable figure not only reflects the coin's numismatic value but also its cultural and historical significance. To own a 1992 pence with the obsolete, new pence, inscription is to hold a tangible error that defied the rigid processes of a national mint and eluded detection for decades, making it a prized possession for any collector. To date, only 3 verified examples are known to exist, though experts believe a few more may still be out there, hidden in dusty coin collections or forgotten piggy banks. Each new discovery would command extraordinary sums, likely surpassing the previous record due to the growing appetite for modern rarities in the global collector market. For those interested in numismatics, the 1992 pence serves as a striking reminder that even the most ordinary objects can hold unfathomable value. A coin worth a mere 2 pence in 1990 now stands as a multimillion-dollar treasure, embodying the mystery, chance, and wonder that fueled a world of rare collectibles. In 1971, the United Kingdom underwent a huge monetary transition known as decimalisation, where pounds, shillings, and pence gave way to a new, simplified system. Among the freshly minted coins was the humble 2 pence, a copper-plated coin that seemed of little significance to most. However, over the years, collectors have kept a watchful eye on every minor variation and mistake that might turn an ordinary coin into a priceless artifact. Fast forward to 2004, a year most would overlook in British coinage history, yet it quietly witnessed the production of one of the rarest and most enigmatic 2 pence pieces ever struck. At first glance, the 2004 2 pence appeared identical to its countless counterparts, featuring the familiar depiction of the badge of the Prince of Wales with its 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, and the words, 2 pence, beneath. But lurking within a tiny batch was a detail so easily missed, it would escape public awareness for years. The secret lay in the wording. In 1982, the Royal Mint altered the coin's reverse inscription from new pence to 2 pence to reflect the coin's established role in the decimal system. But inexplicably, in 2004, a minuscule number of 2 pence coins were mistakenly struck using the old 1982 reverse die, bearing the phrase, new pence, instead. This oversight transformed an everyday coin into one of the rarest post-decimalisation mint errors in British history. For years, these rare 2004 new pence, 2 pence coins went unnoticed, quietly passing through tills and pockets. It wasn't until keen-eyed numismatists, always hunting for anomalies, spotted the error that the significance of this accidental minting came to light. The revelation sent ripples through the numismatic world, sparking fierce debates and fevered speculation over how many might exist and how such an oversight could have occurred in the tightly controlled Royal Mint environment. Some theories suggest that during a routine maintenance or die replacement, an old die marked new pence was mistakenly fitted back into the press. Others believe a batch may have been produced intentionally as test strikes or limited presentation pieces that inadvertently slipped into circulation. Regardless of the cause, the rarity of this particular coin is unquestionable, with only a handful ever confirmed by reputable grading authorities and private collectors. As awareness of the error spread, the allure of finding one of these elusive 2004 new pence coins grew. Coin dealers began scrutinizing their stock, and hobbyists raided jars of loose change in the hopes of discovering a small, unassuming copper coin worth a fortune. But scarcity persisted, with only a precious few examples verified in over 2 decades since their unintentional release. The true number of these error coins in existence remains a mystery. Estimates vary wildly, with some experts suggesting fewer than 10 examples survive in collector hands. Their value, however, is indisputable. In the numismatic market, rarity coupled with a captivating backstory commands extraordinary prices, and this coin is no exception. In recent years, one particularly well-preserved 2004 new pence, 2 pence coin astonished collectors by achieving a staggering price of $3.12 million at a private auction. Its combination of historical intrigue, minting error, and sheer rarity elevated it from pocket change to an icon of modern British coin collecting. The sale shattered records and cemented the coin's status as a legend in the numismatic world. What makes this valuation even more fascinating is the fact that, visually, the coin is virtually indistinguishable from its common counterparts unless one inspects the tiny inscription. This subtlety adds to the thrill for collectors, knowing that fortunes might still be hiding in old coin jars, waiting for a perceptive eye to uncover them. Today, the 2004 New Pence, Two Pence serves as a reminder of how minor oversights can create lasting legends in the collecting world. Its story continues to fascinate numismatists and casual collectors alike, proving that even the smallest coin can carry a history worth millions.